So today we have Mr. Gaurang Vasavda. He's a very good friend of mine. I did a lot of events with him. Let me just brief you about him. He is an ex-banker with over 35 years of rich experience in international trade, finance, and foreign exchange. During his distinguished banking career, he held several important positions, including chief dealer forex and head international division at Bank of Rajasthan, and also serve in various roles in ICICI Bank, including branch head, compliance manager, and subject matter expert in trade. Currently, he is actively involved in training and advising corporates on trade, forex, FEMA, and RBI related matters, and is also associated with institutions like IIBF and FIDI as a resource person and faculty. Gaurangji, thank you so much for accepting our invitation and conducting this session. Also, thanks to ICICI Bank, who is our knowledge partner here. So without wasting time, I would like to give floor to you. Before we give this floor, I just request all the participants that if you have any questions or queries, please raise your hands because the control is with us. When you raise the hand, then we will unmute you and then you can speak. Otherwise, you can also put your questions in chat box. And after the session is over, we will answer your queries. Thank you so much, Gaurangji. Over to you.
Thank you, Prabhu sir. Thank you, TEXPROCIL and ICICI for bringing me here for this session. Now, very rightly said by Prabhu sir that whenever there are issues with overseas payments, so I will remove the word whenever because quite often there are issues with overseas payments, and then we have the resultant effect of from the banking system or DGFT, and more than that, it is our money which gets stuck. So we need to understand how to manage this, and for that, this session has been arranged today. So I'll just start my presentation.
Gaurangji, one second. We have our past chairman Sunil Patwari Saab. Sir, can you just please say a few words, sir? And Patwari sir? Please unmute Patwari sir. Yes. Patwari sir, can you please unmute and say a few words? राकेश फोन लगा मेरे पास इकडे आहे.
Yep. Good afternoon.
Hi sir.
बोलिए.
Sir, since you are there, I thought if you could say some few words.
Yeah, this is a very relevant topic, and the definition of risk changes according to circumstances. So times that we find ourselves in, we have new kind of risk being thrown at us. So it should be interesting to learn what we can do in these times.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Gaurangji, please start the session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Patwari sir. So I'll just start my presentation, and if you have any questions in between, you can just post it in chat or toward the end of the session. Since I will not be sharing the presentation, please do not put the request in the chat for sharing the presentation. I'll just start and then we go from there. Is it visible, sir? Fine.
Yeah, PPT is visible.
PPT is visible. This one.
Yeah.
So managing credit risk for exporters. So now what actually credit is? Credit is our money. Credit is our money. सबसे पहले this is to be understood that whenever we are extending a credit to a buyer, it is our money which we are lending it indirectly by way of goods, and there is always a risk. And very rightly said by Patwari sir that based on circumstances, no need to say what circumstance we are into right now, what is the global economy, all those things are at one place. But our risk is there when we are doing a cross-border trade. Even if the goods are not delivered to the buyer, even then we have a risk. So we'll have to see how to manage this. So I will try to cover what risks are there, then what is credit risk, then how to monitor and control risk, and we will go for the credit insurance part, what ACGC does, how to look at the country risk aspect. Then, since it is our money, then how and what to be followed up, and what are the recourse available for recovery, and something on the FEMA and RBI guidelines, because if we do not follow up, suppose tomorrow I decide that, okay, this is $10,000 worth of goods, let them go bad. No, I don't bother, but we'll have to do a compliance from the angle of the FEMA also. Risks in international trade. So where is our risk? We are into the business of exports. The business by itself means that we are into a cross-border transaction. The risk as we go out of our house, the risk is there. Somewhere the motorcycle will come, somewhere the rickshaw will come, somewhere the car will come. You do not know which road is closed. You do not know where some diversion would be there. All those things are there. This is exports is what going out of the house. Domestic business is doing business within the house. So when you do the business in the house, the risks are lesser. When you go out of the house, the risks are more. But when there's our risk starts, our risk starts particularly from the time we identify a buyer. If we are slightly loose on identifying a buyer, if you do not do a proper due diligence on the buyer, if you are not very confident of the buyer's credentials, payment method, payment, their maybe default status or maybe regularity status, etc., then we are stuck there. So a lot of time, I think the time which we are spending as a country or as a fraternity of exporters, and particularly those new exporters, those old exporters will have their own setup how to find out about the buyer, because they will be traveling abroad regularly. They will have some or the other buyer or connection in that country. They can find out. But the new buyers, the time which needs to be spent on the buyer identification is really less, because we are getting more number of cases reported where in the first time exporter got stuck, police sir, now he does not pick the phone. He is not traceable. He is not responding to the mails. All those things are happening. So our lot of effort, our risk starts from the time we are identifying a buyer. Then the second important aspect is order. Now, order is what? Order is a contract. Order is some you issue a pro forma invoice from here, or the buyer issues an order from there. But ultimately, order is something where two people sign, a buyer and a seller. And when on a piece of paper two people sign, it turns out into a contract. Now, should my contract only have the details of the product, how to ship, what to ship, when to ship, and what is the mode of shipment, and थोड़ा extend करेंगे तो we'll put CIF, FOB, Incoterms, etc. If your maybe product could be some specific packaging could be required, so whether the packaging details are there. But there are lot many items. What if? If war happens, then what happens? If COVID happens, then what to do? If there is no ship, then what to do? If you default, then which code I will use? Lot of these things are missing out. So a lot of effort is required to be put when we create an order. And we have to see all those things. And it has to be balanced between buyer and seller. If it is not balanced, then deal will not happen. Business will not happen. So it has to be balanced. But risk of anything which can happen in the world, on this earth, anything which can be, if you are able to think of anything. Now there is one virus in one ship. Suppose that virus is spreading. Then your goods you are not able to ship. The buyer will say you have not shipped in deadline. Give me some penalty. There is a penalty clause, but escape route is not there. So anything which is there, which can happen subsequently in the world. If the roof falls, then what will happen? Like that, you have to think and put it into the order. Then shipment related issues are there. Containers not available, the freights going high, the insurance going high, whether we have taken care of those contingencies or not. And lastly, the payment. Now, I am safe. When the payment comes, I am safe. So I have a risk and cross fingers on the payment side. Everything does not happen on 100% advance payment. That is for sure. Risk is here. Risk is here. And in my view, risk is also here. Why risk is here? After receipt of payment, where is the risk? Yes, the risk is there, because a large number of times or many times we receive payment from a third party which is not known. I have done a due diligence on buyer A. in Dubai or buyer be in Egypt, and the payment is coming from C, D, E, F, G, anywhere from third country, somewhere, sometimes in Saudi, sometimes in Dubai, sometimes in Singapore, sometimes in Hong Kong. No, I do not have any connection between, I cannot maintain a connection between A and C and D and E, F. There is a risk. I do not know what is the color, whether it is good money or bad money. But it is treated, it is to be treated as money laundering. Someday, after 10 years also, somebody will come and take back that money. So I have to do the due diligence. Now, going back to that order, I must insist on the buyer to tell me upfront who is paying. I also know that there are certain countries where there are foreign exchange issues. The exchange is not available. And people, today only somebody has questions, they want to get the documents examined for a third party case. Somebody, I think from Bangalore, they have picked up, sent me a 1-page mail, full page. So now I must insist on the buyer that he is making the payment, and if he is not making the payment, and if he is arranging through his associate, sister concern, relative, etc., from the same country or the third country, let him mention the name there in the order. If he is mentioning the name, then you have to do due diligence of two parties. Find out whether that party is existing or not, whether they are into the business or not, whether they are a finance company, what actually they are. So we have to do this. So we have to control that risk. Now, what all risks are there for us? So since we are into the business of risk, I cannot eliminate. Business is what? Entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is risk. But I have to manage that, and that is what we are going to spend 60 minutes now. Now, in international business, I've got a series of risks. Credit risk, cargo risk, country and political risk, intellectual property risk, document risk, and foreign exchange risk. So let us see what actually credit risk is and how does it occur. Let me go back to this slide. So cargo risk we know, marine insurance we take. We also have to take an insurance from our factory. Factories, of course, we are insuring, I hope. But from our factory or go down to the port town. And port down also till it is loaded, FOB, free on board. If the goods are there at port, before loading on the bill or loading onto the ship, if something happens, whether it is covered or not. So our marine insurance as well as the domestic cargo. Then country and political risk. Which country is more riskier? I need to know. I have a slide showing ECGC risk matrix also. Then IPR related, if it's a very specific product, do I need to register in each of the country? Yes, there are government schemes where reimbursements are also happening. You could maybe the export promotion councils help in getting the reimbursement on the IPR once it is registered in the country. Then documentary and legal risk. Do I know how to handle the documents, how to prepare the documents, whether the legal conditions are complied, not only in India, but in the buyer's country also. Some buyer's country will have some conditions relating to some certification. Now, in textiles also, there are dyes used. Now, some countries ask for that vegetable dye related certificate. Some products will require a certificate that child labor is not used. All those legal requirements I must know and I must clarify and I must abide by them. You just don't give that certificate like that. And the foreign exchange. Rupee going from 92 to 94, 94 to 95, and now we are just something. I last saw that it touched 89 paisa last week. So maybe some sanity would be there. But you never know. And suppose I have taken an order today. When the rupee is nearly 95, should I price my goods at 95 and quote no or yes? But it may come down. Somebody announces a truce in so we are not at all connected with that war, but that is affecting our economy. Maybe the dollar rupee may come down to 93, 94 again. So I have to take care of all those risks. Now, there are separate sessions we can do on foreign exchange risk separately, as Vale sir was asking. We will do some separate sessions, but we will concentrate on the credit risk for now. Credit risk for exporters, how and why? What actually credit risk is? Credit risk is my exposure on buyer. Whenever I am taking an exposure, right from the time I am having an order with him, right from the time I am signing a contract with him, I am entering into an exposure on the buyer. Still the goods have not been shipped. Goods are with me only, but still that exposure is on the buyer because there could be some panel clauses which I am unable to understand. Then I have to see that. Then how can we manage and mitigate this in the buyers? Now our commodity, either it is some rocket science product or it is some pharma product, some very specific injections, or maybe the vaccines. These are all in demand. I can ask for 100% payment and then sell. If you want, you have to pay first. What we do for petroleum product? Can I get petrol or diesel on credit? No. He says pay first. Then you come back. Okay. So this is how in a buyer's market we are always one step down than the buyer, and we have to take that risk, do the business, and see that how we can mitigate. Now, payment terms could be, the credit risk could be by way of what payment terms we are using, what are the methods of payment, what are the shipment terms, how documents are to be handled, how much exposure is to be taken. So all these 5 things will constitute the credit risk. Payment terms is what? When payment is going to be made. We can have a contract where we say documents against payment, that is cash against document, or we can have a condition uses some tenor is been given as a credit period. Now, largely, the thought is that if the documents are on DP terms and sent through the banking system, then there is no risk. But there is a risk. I have sent the document through a bank in Dubai, and when the goods have reached Dubai port, the documents are presented by the bank there, and the buyer says, "Sir, I don't want these goods. मेरे गोडाउन में जगह नहीं है." Or the market has gone down. Somebody is sick in the house. The business has gone down. I don't want to take the hit. Your goods are at Dubai port. The risk is still there. You'll have to sell it to somebody, maybe at a throwaway price or a discounted price. This risk is still in DP. So go back to that first slide. Buyer identification. You should not be a buyer. You पीछे हट जाए. You should not be going back. Then usance is always a risk. I have agreed as an exporter that you pay me after 90 days. When? After taking possession of the goods. Maybe in 90 days he will sell the goods and go off. On the 90th day or just before 90 days, when I start reminding him, he says, "Sir, kya maal bheja hai? The goods are not as per the quality disclosed. I had to sell it at discount. Your shipment was delayed. The packing was loose. Any type of condition. The print was not okay. The crease was not okay. Anything can be done." So here also, he may arm twist me later on. Firstly, he may not pay. I have seen cases where after 2 years, the buyer has said, "Sir, your goods are lying here, you take back." Those saal tak he was just delaying. After 2 years, he just said, "Bhai, I don't have money. If you want, you can take the goods. They are lying in my godown. I was not able to sell it." Now, what will I do with those goods after 2 years? Maybe the fashion has changed, the design has changed, the quality has deteriorated, etc. etc. So when I start following up, he may not pay, or he may do a delayed payment. That is also good, no problem. I am losing only, but he will ask for discount. He will say, your goods are not good, I will only pay 75%. Then you negotiate with him. So there is always a risk for that component there in a usance bill also. On the payment terms, how payment is to be made. So we have payment terms as advance payment. As I said, advance payment is only where it's a seller's market, very exotic product, very made to order product, very specific product. Other than that, we are all in the seller's market largely. If I do not sell, my partner in the same city could sell, or maybe some other company could sell. Some in other city, somebody could sell from India. And if you go beyond that, somebody from Taiwan, Korea, etc., or Bangladesh will sell, Sri Lanka will sell. So I have to do the business as the business is being done by the world. I cannot dictate my terms. I can dictate for certain time or certain period with certain amount, but not 100%. Then my business will be restricted. So advance payment. If it is advance payment 100%, well and good. But otherwise, I should always try to extract as maximum as possible as advance payment, 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever is possible. So at least my that risk cost of goods is covered. The next one is open account. Now, open account is where there has to be a trust between buyer and seller. This trust cannot be have overnight. This trust has to be developed over a period of time, and that period of time is not 6 months or 1 year or 3 shipments. It is years together. When the relationship is such that when the buyer comes to India, I will host him. When I go to Dubai, he will host me. We have family relationship. Ghumne aa jana, like that relationship. So when these things happen, then only trust is there. But that trust also had to keep certain control. In open account, a businessman from Jaipur was doing open account for almost 20 years with a buyer in USA. And roughly 5-7 lakhs of exposure was there with him. Gradually, the shipments continued, the payment, the speed of payment was slowed down. And once when the payment of around $7 lakh was pending, the buyer said, "Sir, I am going for bankruptcy now. I don't have money to pay. I have done business with you for 20 years. Whatever price you have asked, I have given you, but I don't have the money to pay you. Now this 6 lakh, $7 lakh of money." And they have fought it in court for another 7 years. You see, you can judge on the amount, energy, time, and money spent on that. Fighting case in India, fighting case in US also, and nothing has happened till now. So even in open account, I will have to keep a restraint. How much? How much is the worth of that buyer that I can take an exposure, or how much credit risk appetite I have? मेरी कितनी risk appetite है उस पे depend करेगा कि open account how much I will do, and that's I will tell you how to do this also. So when I do the open account, I will judge the buyer on the basis of his old total turnover, my relationship, etc., or the percentage of my business. Then what I'll do, I'll say this buyer is worth $50,000. At a time, I will not have an exposure of more than $50,000 against him. This buyer is worth $1 lakh, the third buyer is worth $2 lakh. Okay. Now, if my total business is $2 lakh, if my total business is $2 lakh, then I will say I will not have any single buyer which has got a more than 25% exposure of my total turnover. If my total turnover is $2 lakh, and if my one buyer exposure is $2 lakh, then what happens? All eggs are in one basket. Ek gaya to sab gaya. So I will have to restrain there also, put the buyer-wise limit and put the percentage of my total turnover. Don't try to have only one buyer in your portfolio. Try to spread out. I also say now, don't try to have only one country in your portfolio. Try to spread out. Even the government wants this. Go to newer countries, find newer buyers. We have seen how people got stuck when Russia got stuck. This dollar payment struck. We have seen how in 21-22, when Sri Lanka was facing problem, payment streams were stopped. What to do? So we have to, in open account, we have to do this exercise. And the third one is documents on collection through banking system. It could be site or useless. The only comfort here is that somebody is holding the document on my behalf in the other country. What document? Either the BL or the bill of exchange. So bank does not take any responsibility here. They are only the collecting agents. There is no guarantee by the bank. But either I will have a BL, I can call back the goods, sell to another party, sell in another country, etc. Or I have a bill of exchange that I can use if I to take the buyer to court if required. Only that comfort is there, not nothing beyond that. And lastly, the letter of credit. Now, letter of credit, every time it is felt that letter of credit is safe. Today also, I was reading one very lengthy article on LinkedIn where it says letter of credit has got so many risks. Letter of credit is safe as far as you want a guarantee from a bank. But when under that guarantee, you will be able to take the payment. Only when you are able to comply with the terms and conditions and submit the requisite documents, error-free documents. So one of our senior advisors says, if you do not know how to prepare the documents, don't venture into LC. एटलीस्ट आप ओपन अकाउंट में बायर का डिलीजेंस तो बराबर करेंगे, एलसी में वो भी छूट जाता है. So the fourth one is LC. So I will always have an LC to safeguard my payment risk because their payment is guaranteed by the bank, provided I am able to comply with the terms and conditions. The next one is shipment terms. What is the mode of shipment? What is the instrument? Sea, air, or courier? Now, this bill of lading is a negotiable instrument. The original controls the goods. Rest all there is no control. The rest all air will be like if I put the name of the buyer as a consignee, the buyer will get the goods. Courier, of course, it goes to his place only. But in BL, the original BL, even if the name of the buyer is mentioned there as a consignee, the original will have to be surrendered to the shipping company. But why do I want to put the name of the buyer in the BL as a consignee? Because उसने बोला है, अरे you make it to order and endorse it. You make it to order and endorse it in favor of the bank and let the bank endorse it after receipt of payment or acceptance. Why do I want to put the name of the buyer? If it is an LC, then it's okay. Whatever LC says, I'll have to do. Yesterday some bank was discussing an LC where the LC says, sir, full set of original BL to be sent directly to the applicant, the buyer. Sir, bank ka risk batao. Banker was also only discussing. So we'll have to see, understand those conditions of shipment, how the document to shipment is to be prepared. Consigned to order or buyer. Now the next one is the documents through bank, dispatch of document. Now the documents through bank means that we are trying to take our bank together to handle this document. I have one additional person to examine that document beyond my own. If I send the document directly to the buyer, there is only two parties involved, buyer and seller. If I involve my bank in India and abroad, or maybe only in India, then at least my bank is involved. And this is also required as per the regulatory requirement, RBI guidelines. Currently, what RBI guidelines says? Those exporters who are not SEZ, in SEZ or not status holders. So DTA, if you have not received 100% payment or not a condition in LC, must give the original documents to the bank for sending it to the buyer or buyer's bank, as the case, whatever you want, bank will do. But I will involve my bank. Sir, this is the original, that please send the document directly to the buyer. We have this arrangement, I know him. Or buyer's bank, as the case may be. Now, if I am sending the document directly to the buyer, then there is no use of that bill of exchange. He says, sir, bill of exchange bheja hai. But what is the use? Who is going to sign it, whether signed or not? Who is going to present in the country? No, I must use the facility of the bank. Many times we ignore in our country, banks may charge the very bigger flat sum, 1,000, 2,000 rupees for handling the bill. But in foreign countries, it may result in $200, $500. We want to save that money. We miss buyer and seller both because buyer will say, sir, I don't want to spend that $500. We agree to that. But what does that cost? That $500 saving may cost you $50,000, the value of the parcel shipment. And the exposure limit. Should I set the limit on each buyer based on KYC on buyer? Our bank does our KYC. No? हर साल कागज मांगते हैं हमसे, हर 2 साल में कागज मांगते हैं. Are we doing a KYC on the buyer? Age of business, size of business, what is the net worth, how risky is the country, how to find out whether whatever he is saying is okay or not. The website, sometimes websites are there. Do I have a credit report? Credit report is what? I can get a credit report from ECGC or agencies like DNB, Mira Inform, etc. Or I can also ask my bank, sir, please send a SWIFT and get me a credit report on this buyer from the bank. Do I have this system in my company to have a credit report on each and every buyer? What does DNB charge? Maybe 7,000 rupees or 8,000 rupees or 10,000. I have to see whether 10,000 is okay as an investment for a buyer or losing a $10,000 parcel is okay because I did not do the proper due diligence. And based on this KYC, I will set the limit on the buyer. 50,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, etc. And based on new relationship, mature relationship, country, whether DP, DA, etc. And the tenor. From the first transaction itself, somebody allowing 180 days credit period. जितना लंबा period है उतना दिन आपको you cannot follow it up with the buyer. And if you are not able to follow it up with the buyer, you never know 180 days is a good time to wind up the business and go off. Today board has been placed here, tomorrow the board has been placed here. And for that matter, it is always suggested to go in for a credit insurance. I am very happy to see that in one of the participants, some official from ECGC is also there. So I think you'll be glad to see that I am referring to ECGC here. I must always have a credit insurance on the buyer. Why I get a medical insurance or a life insurance or a car insurance or a fire theft insurance or even in my business also, why marine insurance I am doing? So why not take an insurance on the exposure which I take on the buyer? So what actually credit insurance is, I can manage through my credit insurance portfolio. इतना सारा risk है मेरे पास. Let somebody guide me. Go back and see, read your conditions on the health insurance or your even car insurance. It will have certain conditions. I know ये सब नहीं हुआ तो मुझे claim नहीं मिलेगा. In credit insurance also, this guiding factor is there. They will guide you. The insurance company will guide you how you should do business with your buyer, X buyer, Y buyer, Z buyer. Now, ECGC is a government of India company. Now, besides ECGC, some of the private insurance companies who are into non-life business also offer this product. But since ECGC is a government of India company, I am least assured. Everything is there because they will not bother on not to pay. They will always bother on how to pay and what to pay, whether it is a compliant claim or not. I have my first-hand experience with them for years together during my banking career. That is why I can say this with firm conviction. Now, ECGC is giving a credit guarantee to exporters and the companies and the banking institutions which are financing exporters, both on the export of goods and export of services. So our banks also get covered through one of the product there. They are whole turnover product, which we call ECIB, Export Credit Insurance for a Bank. Now, ECGC, since they are giving credit insurance, is also governed under IRDA guidelines. So earlier, what we used to call policy is now guarantees, insurance policies. Earlier, we used to call guarantees, full turnover guarantee. And for individuals, the exporters, they have separate what you call policies for the entire turnover, very one buyer specific, one country specific, multiple buyer in one country, group of countries, very specific cover, different covers are there. Policies to exporters could be standardized policies, which could be turnover based. So I may say that I will be having turnover of 20 crores in this year. So I can always go to the ECGC and say, sir, this is my past track. This is my targeted turnover of 20 crores this year. Last year I have done 17 crores. I will do 20 crores this year. And I want the entire turnover to be covered. You give me a policy. What are the countries? I will specify the countries. What are the buyers existing? I will give the name of the buyer. They will scrutinize and tell me, okay, lump sum premium, very reduced one. The turnover policy premium is far less than the individual policy. And this policy covers the commercial and political risk and largely up to 90%. When it is through bank, it is lesser. But it excludes the dispute with the buyer, import license related issue. Some country has a prescription of import license by the buyer. And I ship the goods without knowing whether the buyer has got an import license or not. And then I go and knock the door of ECGC. He says that you have not seen what requirement is there. You should have asked for a copy of the license first before doing the shipment. Then exchange loss, general insurance clauses, etc. And there could be a specific policy like exposure policy on single buyer, multiple buyer, consignment policy, shipment policy, services exports policy, construction works policy, multiple policies. Now, ECGC conditions could have buyer-wise limits. So the best part, what I find here is that whenever you go and tell the sir, you have a policy, you go and tell sir, this is a new buyer coming to me from Ghana, Tanzania, Singapore, any country. So they will find out from their own database, and then they can give you a credit report also and tell you this buyer is worth only $50,000 or $1 lakh for 90 days usance period, not more than that. Send the documents through banking system or directly. They will guide me. If the buyer has defaulted earlier with any of the exporters in India, or maybe world over, if some default has been done by them, they will come to know because they will take the credit report from their counterparts abroad. And they will tell you, sir, this is not worth now. We are not covering this buyer. You will know. So chhod dijiye, go to next buyer now. Then there are limits for DPDA, whether direct shipment should be done or not. Declaration for each shipment has to be given, premium is to be paid in advance. Then if there is a default from due date, within 30 days, default is to be noted and 90 days claim is to be done. Now, one condition is there. When you file a claim, it is to be signed by the bank. I think point number 9, page number 6, I remember still because I've done with my hand. I do not know now with electronic forms, etc., whether that page number and point number remains or not. But there the bank has to sign that they have handled the document. Now, if you have not complied with the RBI guideline of sending the documents through the banking system, if you are a DTA non-status holder, you have not complied with RBI guidelines, then ECG is not going to pay you directly. ECG will want you to regularize this from bank or RBI, and that's a big task now. So if you are a DTA unit, non-status holder, you have not received 100% advance payment and the document is not under LC, then please do not send the document directly to the buyer. Ask your bank to send it to the buyer. That is okay. You can do so. If you are availing a policy from ECGC, please do ensure that documents are sent through the banking system only. Now, ECGC also publishes country risk matrix A1 to D, insignificant, low, moderately low, moderately high, high risk, very high risk. And these are some of the countries I have plotted. I think this is previous quarter's data, not updated also. I will always see if I'm starting my business with Yemen or Ukraine, then how much risk I am taking. दुनिया में 246 countries have been given. Can I leave these 60, 70, 80 countries which are in the last three categories? उसके अलावा 150 कंट्री में काम करेंगे. It is possible. And see, every month, every quarter, this is dynamic. They are upgrading and downgrading the countries. And one of the quarters, I think 2 quarters back or 3 quarters back, even Canada and Spain were downgraded. Last year's event. Fiji was downgraded. Gabon was downgraded. These are upgradations. So based on that, you have to see this. This is available in the ECGC website. If you are not availing the policy, even then you can use it. So I can take risk, but I should take calculated risk. If I am sending to North Korea, Zambia, Yemen, or Syria, etc., Ethiopia, then I should know what is the margin I am getting, how much risk I am buying. That should be controlled and done by. Now, when we are talking of ECGC, I just thought I put this additionally, this new event recently under relief, which was announced by the government of India, where ECGC is involved. Resilience and logistic related issues of this Iran war. What did it say? ECGC is a nodal agency here, where your consignments to UAE, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Israel, Qatar, Oman, Iran, Iraq, and Yemen are covered. How it are covered? There are 3 tracks which have been announced. One is for existing policy holders. Those existing policy holders who have done the shipment between 14th February to 15th March. Whatever policy coverage is there, some policy coverage will be 75%, some will be 80, some will be 90. The government under this program says we will cover up to 100%. ECGC will pay 85% as per the policy, 15% will be taken from the government and paid to you. So this is for existing policyholders. Now there are hundreds and thousands of exporters who do not believe in ECGC. I don't know why. हम अपना इंश्योरेंस करते हैं लेकिन हमारे बिजनेस का इंश्योरेंस क्यों नहीं करना चाहते? So those who are planning shipments, for them also that cover is there. If your shipments have been planned between 16th March to 15th June, to encourage more and more exporters to take ECGC cover, there the government has said that whatever be the coverage in the policy, they will give you a shelter up to 95% over and above the existing cover. So if you are covered under the policy is 80%, then 15% additionally will be given by the government. And there is a package of some 478 crores or so announced by the government. So one track is there for the existing policyholders. Second track is there for the new policyholders who is going to take the policy now. And this specific shipment period has been announced. And the third one is for non-policyholders. Now, during this war period, if you have done the shipment and because of this war period, you have paid increased freight and insurance, the burden is increased. The burden is increased, of course. In one of the seminars, someone was saying that my shipment was diverted to some other country. And I had to pay additional freight for diversion there and then from taking it back to some other country there, finding out a buyer and all that. Wherever you have paid additional freight and insurance, that coverage increase, whatever differential increase is there, of that 50% up to a limit of 50 lakhs per exporter will be reimbursed by the government. And all this is to be done electronically on the website of ECGC. There is an FAQ, there are YouTube videos, everything is available there. If you are hit anywhere in this or if you are doing business with these 9 countries, then you should avail of this benefit because I am sure even if you are not having ECG policy, you can or you should take the shelter under this track tree for the freight and insurance burden which you have paid there. Now I have done the shipment, the buyer is not paying. I need to do follow-up. Why? What actually export is? Somebody is forcing us to do this follow-up. Export is under FEMA, it is defined as export of goods outside India or providing of services outside India. And it also means that whenever I am sending goods out of India, it must be paid. Now, if the payment is not there, so there's some onus is there on us. One declaration we are filing with customs with the correct information representing full value. That declaration gets recorded in government books. ABC India has exported goods for $10,000. When you ship the goods out of the country, it gets registered through the shipping bill with both all the agencies in the earth. The onus to realize and repatriate it also there on the exporter. Wherever any funds are due from any foreign party which are to be brought into by a person in India, they must be realized and brought into India in the manner as prescribed by Reserve Bank. So this gives the onus on the exporter to get the bill paid and bring the money to India. Now, what we are doing, what actually it says, this is the declaration we are giving on the shipping bill, current shipping bill. The new shipping bill or the export declaration form, which is going to come into effect from 1st October 26, the format of the export declaration form is getting changed now. I undertake to abide by the provisions of FEMA as amended from time to time, including relation and repatriation of foreign. I am giving an undertaking. I have given this undertaking to the government of India, and that is why I am required to chase for the payment. What are the records of it? If the buyer does not pay, then what do I do? Follow up by mails, correspondence, letters, etc. Not only your WhatsApp, not only your phone calls. If you have done a phone call today at 11 o'clock, you see that you or your staff doesn't mail to the buyer today itself that I have spoken to you, you have assured me that you will make a payment in 1 month or 10 days or whatever number of days. Send mails and send letters, create a paper record for that. If the buyer does not confirm on the mail or does not write a mail back to you saying, okay, I have agreed that I will pay in 1 month, push the buyer to reply in writing. Tell him, sir, I require this for my regulatory paperwork. मेरा बैंक मुझे छोड़ता नहीं है. If I go and tell my bank and extend the bill for 1 month, bank will say, give me in writing from the buyer. Push the buyer to get this response. There are cases where the buyer wants to extract some discount there, some frivolous discount. माल अच्छा नहीं है, सब कोई डिस्प्यूट खड़ा कर दिया, कुछ इश्यू नहीं ले आया, डिले हो गया, मेरा कॉस्ट ज्यादा लग गया, माल का मे बी पैकिंग वाज नॉट गुड, एनीथिंग. Whenever the disputes are raised, try to negotiate it. Don't stick to their 100%. Try to negotiate, bring him down and negotiate and do faster. I have a very classic case where the buyer was asking some 25% discount. And the exporter said, sir, no way, I will not give you. The goods have been inspected by your person. I have handed over the goods to you. I know that you have sold the goods. I will take only 100%. They did not sit on the negotiating table. And this prolonged for almost 1 year, to and fro of mails. After 1 year, the buyer filed a bankruptcy because I do not control what he is doing in Europe. He filed for bankruptcy, the exporter got zero. Better was what I could have taken 85%, 90%, 75%, whatever was I was getting at that time. A reasonable period is okay. 1 month I can prolong, 2 months I can. But if I prolong it for 2 years, then I do not know what is the position of the buyer there. So try to negotiate as early as possible. Then take support from other in the market, other buyers in that same country. Because if your product is going to a country, then there will be other people who will be supplying to that country, or you may be supplying to some other buyers also. Your other suppliers to the same buyer, try to find out who are there. Because when you sit with your own people, same trade group, you will be able to know if I am supplying to Egypt, some other party will come and say, sir, I am also supplying to Egypt. Then maybe both of you come to know that this buyer is reaching both. So try to find out how this is to be done. And then Embassy and Consulate of India in buyer's country. Now they are our partners. There is a trade attaché almost in every embassy consulate. If there is not trade attaché, then the ambassador or the council will help us. Deputy council will help us. We can always write to them. These are the details. The buyer is not responding now. Try to initiate the correspondence. If it is not responded in 15 days, you try to send a reminder. And the embassy or the consulate of the buyer's country in India. So maybe UAE consulate in India, Zambia consulate in India, Singapore consulate in India, China consulate or embassy in India, all those. There is a list available at neaprotocol.nic.in. You can just find out what is the address, what is the mail ID, send a mail. सबको भेजो. If it is your money that is not being paid, take a drum and beat out everywhere. ढोल बजाइए. Then there is a complaint register in DGFT. DGFT, go to services, select quality complaints, trade disputes. Then there is an online application to be filled in where you can upload the documents also. Now, DGFT, when you file a complaint, it does not mean that DGFT is going to go and follow up with the buyer. But you can always then find out whether the buyer has been with other people or not. Or when you are going to find out such a buyer, then they may help us because they ultimately will create the data and send it to either the embassy or on the other forums they will take up with their counterparts abroad that this is the problem in your country. More people are coming now saying that the buyer does not pay. So this is now you have to take care. The buyer can also register a complaint at DGFT India against you. If you take the advance and don't ship, if you ship the goods which are not as per the quality standards, packing, all those things, anything, any trade dispute can be filed here by the buyer or the seller in anywhere in the world. Must know this is open to foreign buyers also to raise their grievance. This is just a snapshot. Quality complaints and trade disputes online. Foreign complaints, Indian complaints, there are two portals given here. Help and FAQs are given. This is the dgft.gov.in application help. It is there available. Then further recovery efforts. For 6 months, I have been following it up. Mails are exchanged. The buyer does not come forward to pay. He does not even say how much he wants to pay. Then can I send a legal notice from my lawyer in India? People say the legal notice from India will not have any impact. कोई बात नहीं. Let us send a legal notice. The lawyer speaking in his own legal language will have an impact. I can always send a copy of the legal notice to the embassy then, to the consulate, other people. I have already served a legal notice. I want help. Police FIR. It is my money. I can file a police FIR in India and in buyer's country. Now, most of the countries, the departments are online. FIR can be filed online. Complaints can be filed online. We handled a case where in Hong Kong we wanted to file an FIR. We never knew how to file it. I also learned for the first time. We approached embassy. We had a complaint that, and it was a very small amount, import related, $450. In second reminder, embassy gave us the link to police FIR. We filed the police FIR, but we were not able to attach the documents. So we wrote that we are unable to approach. This is our mail ID. The embassy again gave us the mail ID of the department. Then they guided us how to file an FIR, and we filed an FIR. But this will have an impact on the buyer if we file an FIR. The machinery there gets geared up. Who wants an FIR against somebody? No, I will not want. So this is one threat which can be used. And last point is lawsuit. Lawsuit in India and lawsuit in buyer's country. Now this will always depend on what is the jurisdiction I am using in my invoice, contract, pro forma, etc. Even if it says suit to be filed in London or Singapore, etc., I can always initiate a suit here in India. Largely, our pro forma invoice or our invoice will say legal jurisdiction India. So I will always initiate this. But in some cases, I have to go to the buyer's country and file a suit. It's a costly affair. But ultimately, to recover $3,000, I will not do it. But for $30,000, I may. But for 3 lakhs, I should. The difference is there. Then there are debt recovery agencies in the market. So I just tried to find out. MNS Credit Group is there, COFEST, Nirvana, Cedar, all these groups are there. Some of these debt recovery agencies do not charge upfront. They may charge very meager amount, 5,000-10,000 rupees. But what they say is that if we are able to recover anything, maybe up to 20% of the amount we will take out of that. That is our fees. No upfront fees. So suppose for a $1 lakh, they are able to recover $50,000. So out of $50,000, they will take $10,000 as a fees. Still, I am getting 40,000. कुछ भी नहीं मिल रहा था. So this is the way we can do the effort, and this will all depend on what is the value of the parcel. All these steps will not be taken if there's a parcel or shipment of $1,700. I may send reminders, this, that, but for smaller parcels, I will not put more time, energy, and cost. But for $17,000 or $30,000, I will do some more effort, some more period, some more maturity, maybe police FIR, legal notice from India, etc. But it is very surprising when exporters for $4 lakh or $5 lakh do not want to file a legal suit. Very surprising. $8 lakh का केस है, अगर 50,000 लगा भी देने पड़े तो लगाने चाहिए, as is my view. Now the points to remember is that we need documents for each of these steps. Follow up, Documents is what? Paper documents. Follow-up, legal suit, police FIR, chasing with embassy, anything, whatever we want. We want document, document, and document. Every time documents must be pakka for the recovery. If the documents are not pakka or not up to the mark, or the paperwork is not there, then you will have difficulty to explain RBI, to your AD bank, to DGFT, everybody. I have a very classic case just to share with you. I will share in the last slide. Two more slides. Now, write-off of the bill is one aspect as a last resort. But what is write-off? Is it only a technical write-off? Technical write-off means my write-off is given to the bank. Bank has agreed that 5%, 10% criteria is there, and the shipping bill is removed from the pendency list. Even DGFT does not. If there are maybe drawback, etc., taken, I will refund it to the bank, to the government. But what actually this means? This means writing off of your own capital. Should I write off now? What amount? $58,000. 9 months payment did not come. 11th month, the party says, sir, I want to write off. $60,000 you want to write off without doing any effort. Based on the value, you will do effort to recover the money because it is your money, your capital. Ultimately, कहाँ से कट हो रहा है? आपके प्रॉफिट लॉस में से जाएगा, बैलेंस शीट में हिट करेगा. One exporter wanted to write off $2.5 million. The first question I asked, sir, what is your capital? 82 rupees उस समय डॉलर था. Do you have 20 crores of capital in your books to write off in this year? And if you are writing off 20 crores of debt better in 1 year, if you want to do this, your net worth will go down. It will impact your borrowing power also with the bank. Is your bank satisfied if you bring down the 20 crore rupees of the net worth in one go? It has to be planned. It has to be discussed with some people who know how to do this, handle this, and then go forward on that. Just touch upon, so I will just give you one example or one news brief which was there. When you are in the business, it may happen that money may come or money may not come. It is a business, no? We have, first slide we have seen it is a risk. Business is risk. So government does not ask you why money has not come. But government may ask you, government means the related authorities, may ask you why efforts have not been made. Why? Because I am bound by that FEMA declaration. FEMA 7, 8, etc. Very classic case, there was a penalty imposed by a regulatory authority on an exporter where the court has said that you cannot levy the penalty for non-realization of export bill. But the penalty can be levied on not making efforts on realization of export bill. So whatever paperwork is to be done, if you do not do that, if you do not follow up, if you do not take ample steps, then still you are responsible to the agency. Last couple of slides. There are RBI guidelines which are required to be seen from the point of view of our credit risk because it is a bill which has been set. Earlier, the period of relation given was 9 months. Now it has been increased to 15 months from 14-11 for all shipments after that. If it is not paid in 15 months period or 9 months period, I need to extend it 6 months at a time with the bank, give the requisite documents, declaration, etc. If the bill is not realized in 2 years, then bank may recommend to RBI for caution listing of the IC. It is exporter level, it is not bill level, it is not bank level, it is IC level caution listing. If I have received an export advance, then I would have required to ship in 12 months, which has now been increased to 3 years or as per contract from 14-11. Now, this is going to change from 1st October, where if the bill is not extended in 15 months, then after 12 months, there is an auto shut off. Automatically, you will be stopped to do shipment. So for me as an exporter, it will be mandatory to chase the buyer, produce the documents and get it extended if it is not paid in 15 months time. This you have to take care now. Extension, 6 months at a time, supporting documents are required. Currently, ceilings are there. Subsequently, banks will have their own ceilings. I can always allow 25% of the value of each invoice as a discount. If I want to negotiate with the buyer, try to negotiate under this window, simpler window, but I'll have to refund proportionate incentives. The write-off delegations are there currently, 5% for non-status holders, 10% for status holders, and additionally 10. If I have an export of $1 million in 24-25, sorry, calendar year 24 or 25, then in the current year I can do $50,000 worth of write-off. And if I am status holder, then $1 lakh. Bank additionally can allow me $1 lakh. And this exercise should be seen for a running business every year of between September and October. जब हमारी बैलेंस शीट फाइनल हो जाती है उसके बाद देखिए कितना कैपिटल राइट ऑफ कर सकते हैं, कितने लोग ऐसे हैं जो बिल्कुल हमें 4 साल हो गए छोड़ देना चाहिए. All that can be seen. There are specific conditions for write-off and specific documents required. Buyer insolvent, official liquidator, goods auctioned by custom. One of the case I am handling now where the customs has not given a certificate and bank is reluctant to close that. Balance settled through embassy. Write-off of direct dispatch cases is a difficult item. Only 3 things will be allowed. So this is all from my side. On the credit risk, after the presentation by the bank, we'll take the questions. Please put all your questions on the chat box or subsequently raise hand. My last submission, thank you very much for patiently hearing this. Monitor and manage your risk. This is your money. Happy exporting. Everybody wants, the country needs exports currently by hook, crook, whatever we want to do. But safeguarding your money is your business. These are my details available here. I will be available to people after this session also. Please send me a WhatsApp or send a mail on these details. I will also share in the chat. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful, Gaurangji. Can we have Linata? Are you there?
I'm there, sir. I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm connected from
Rakesh,
mobile actually.
Yeah. I just request my colleague Rakesh to on the PPT. Rakesh, can you
Yeah.
please on the PPT, friends? We will take question and answer session once this small presentation is over. Please be with us. We are going to announce some important events also. So please bear with us. Thank you. Yes, Linata. Is PPT visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah,
sir.
please start.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So welcome again. I welcome again all participants. So Gaurang sir had very well explained about how to manage credit risk while handling your exports. Now I'll be taking you through the various export and import banking solutions which ICICI Bank offers to the customers. So we can move to next page, sir. So, as exporters and importers, you must have faced some challenges in your day-to-day business. Like you have to run against time to submit the documents in the branch, or you must be wondering exactly whom you should contact at branch, or you must have been livid with high transaction charges, or you must be seeking some specialist advisory services, or you must be anxious to get your advice copy or swift copy of your transaction, and you also must be seeking some pre and post transaction compliance support as well from your bankers. So to overcome all these challenges, ICICI Bank has come up with some digital solutions and innovative products, which I'll be taking you through the subsequent slides. We can move to the next page, sir. So ICICI Bank offers one of the main digital solution, which is called Trade Online. So Trade Online is most comprehensive portal to initiate various trade transactions. Along with this, we have Trade One View option, which is a part of Trade Online, where you will be able to download swift copy and advice copy of your transaction, and you will be able to monitor due dates of your LC bill payment or BG expiry date, so on and so forth. At turnaround time side, so turnaround time is a time taken by the bank to execute the transaction. So at ICICI Bank, EFC to INR conversion happens instantly through InstaBiz application. Inward remittance gets settled within 1 hour. Bank guarantee gets issued within 3 hours. And outward remittance, which is initiated by importers of goods or services, it gets executed within 5 hours. We offer some innovative products like instant disbursement of export packing credit, smart bank guarantee issuance, instant letter of credit draft generation, and full value outward remittance. So basically, under full value outward remittance, beneficiary will get full value, entire value, which is being remitted from India without deduction of foreign bank charges. We offer capital account services also. So capital accounts are basically foreign direct investments and overseas direct investment transactions. So here also our bank supports end to end, right from pre-vetting of the documents of the transaction, executing that transaction, and regulatory filing of these transactions. We offer Trade Emerge platform also. So what is this Trade Emerge? I'll be explaining you in second last slide of this presentation. So for now, we can move to next page. Yeah. So in this page, I'll be explaining you the various options that are part of Trade Online platform. So exporters can settle inward remittance, export bill regularization, that is matching of export bills with corresponding inward remittance. So this regularization activity also can be done through Trade Online. Export packing credit can be applied, export collection bills can be lodged, and if any of the exporters want to issue bank guarantee to the overseas party, their importer, it can also be done through Trade Online. At import side, import payments can be initiated, import bills regularization can be done, letter of credit can be applied, import collection bills can be lodged, and service payment can be initiated. So to have this Trade Online setup, there is no separate setup cost. Once a customer account opens account with us, this Trade Online setup is done free of cost on respective laptops or a desktop. Trade Online comes with paperless mode. There is no need to submit various documents to the bank because Trade Online is a digital platform and it is available round the clock. And here you will also be able to get audit trail of the documents. So these are the various options of Trade Online platform. We can move to next page, sir. There are some unique features that are available on Trade Online. So customers get pre-filled application. Payment scheduler option is also there. So if any of the importer wants to make the payment on weekly, fortnightly, or quarterly basis, they can do so. Bill regularization is also part, as I earlier explained. Single view dashboard is also available. Customs alert, where you will be able to get alerts on your transactions. For accounts department, only view access can be enabled without edit access. Virtual guidance is also available where you will be able to get step-by-step guidance on raising digital transactions. Under master vault option, you will be able to store one-time documents like your IEC code or trade license. So no need to submit these documents time and again to the branch or bank for initiating the transaction. Online deal booking can also be done, and instant EFT conversion can also happen through Trade Online platform. So we can move to next page. So this is the complete dashboard, which is called Trade Dashboard Overview. It is a part of Trade Online application where you will be able to see action awaited tab, where in this example, there are certain number of transactions where customer is supposed to act on it because it is pending for the settlement. Under My Transactions tab, you will be able to download advice and swift copies of the transactions. Under Trade Compliance Pendencies tab, you will be able to click and download your compliance pendency, that is export bill pendency and import bill pendency. Along with this, various due dates can be monitored like EPC PCFC due date, bank guarantee expiry date, and letter of credit due date. So these are the features of trade overview option of Trade Online. We can move to next page, sir. We offer one innovative solution, that is instant disbursement of export packing credit. So the exporters who are already enjoying EPC limit with us, they can apply for instant disbursement up to 250 crores depending upon the eligibility limits. This application can be done digitally or customers can visit branch also to have this option availed. To apply for this, exporter must have running account facility. Export orders should not be pending for greater than 30 days. And legal entity identifier is not mandatory if the EPC limit that is being applied is less than 7.5 crores. So these are the features of Insta EPC facility of ICICI Bank. We can move to the next page. At bank guarantee issuance side, we offer a bank guarantee. It gets issued within 3 hours. So basically, it's a express processing of bank guarantee. No need to visit the branch time and again. First to apply for the BG and then to collect for the BG. Only single visit is sufficient, and this bank guarantee gets issued either against fixed deposit or against limit. So these are the features of bank guarantee issuance of ICICI. We can move to next page, sir. So this is a last slide of my presentation. So we offer a trade emerge platform. So basically it is a web-based platform. It is different from trade online. So trade online enables you to initiate your trade transactions, and trade emerge enables you to apply for various applications or to discover your buyers and sellers across the globe. So various applications, that is applying for import export code, that is IEC code, or applying for a trade license. So these applications can be done through trade emerge platform. Under discover buyers and sellers option, you will get global trade database of more than 15 million buyers and sellers across the globe. Along with this, you can verify their information also under verify buyers and sellers tab. Various logistics solutions are also available where you can compare rates and book your freight and courier options. We have tie-ups with various logistics companies like Truckmatic, Shipsy, and so on and so forth. Under Avail Insurance tab, you will be able to apply for various insurance policies like marine transit insurance, group health insurance, property insurance, and workman compensation insurance. Since trade is highly regulated area, as a exporter and importer, you must be aware about basic guidelines of various regulatory bodies like RBI, DGFT, Customs, International Chamber of Commerce. So all these guidelines are stored under Knowledge Hub tab of Trade Emerge. So I would say Trade Emerge is a one-stop solution for all trade-related needs of importers and exporters. So that is all from my side, sir. If anyone is having any questions related to ICICI Bank, you can share it with me on email. I am putting my email ID also in the chat box, or we can have this discussed in FAQ session also. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Linata. Now, friends, we are opening the session for question and answer. Rakesh, can you just release the control?
It's done, sir.
Yeah. Friends, you can please unmute yourself and ask the question, or you can put your question in chat box also. That's not a problem. Yeah. Any questions? Linata Joshi. Anybody, any questions, please? अगर कुछ है तो बताइए.
Hello.
Yes.
Myself, Freedom Patel. Thank you very much for this wonderful session. I have one question regarding export from India. Suppose we have goods in some other country, not in India, and we are purchasing them and again selling to the other country like MTT trades. Then how we will proceed to that trade from India?
Yeah.
Sir,
Gaurang.
MTT is not a trade from India. Whatever guidelines on exports from India is there, they do not apply to MTT. Some of the guidelines could be common, but the guidelines for export do not apply to MTT. MTT is a separate set of transaction where the goods are not coming to India. Say you are procuring from China and sending it to Lagos or maybe Dubai. Only the documents and payments are handled by you in India. So there are separate regulatory guidelines for MTT covered under the RBI guidelines as well as DGFT guidelines. You'll have to take care of those guidelines And the risk is there, of course. Even in MTT, you will have the similar type of risk. If you are paying the Chinese supplier first, and then you are getting the payment from your Dubai buyer, then same risk is there. It is as good as the same risk what we have talked about. The credit risk is still there for you.
Yes.
So that is possible. That has got a separate set of guidelines relating to MTT, where the payment terms are there, payment timeline is there, how the transaction is to be closed, how the document is to be mentioned, whether same bank is to be used or not. If you wish to know more or engage, then you may send a WhatsApp to me.
Yeah, Ridham Patel sir, please unmute. Any questions, anybody? Ridham ji, you want to host is not allowing. Rakesh, can you just please unmute Mr. Ridham Patel, please?
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much for the question. No further questions from my side.
So there are no questions in chat also, sir.
We are trying to postpone this because 29th we have this session on ELCG scheme. So we are going to postpone this session by third week. Then we have a Z certification, zero effect, zero defect. It's a scheme of Ministry of MSME. So I request all of you to please join this session. Then there is one more important topic, terms of delivery, that is Incoterms Rule 2020. Though the topic is very simple, but then this is very important topic. So I request all of you to please block your dates. We are going to send this calendar to our all member exporters, and then we will also send you the registration link. So I request all of you to please register and take the advantage of these webinars. And there are many more sessions which are in pipeline, so we will keep you updated. So please watch our circulars, and I also request you to follow our YouTube channel. We have a YouTube channel at TEXPROCIL 1954, where you will get all the recordings and all the important tutorials related to trade topics. So with this, I thank all of you. I thanks Mr. Gaurang Vasavda, and thank you so much participants for attending this session. We need your support to build such kind of capacity building among our textile exporters. Thank you so much.